let's go. Got the first one of the day. It looks like a pretty nice one, but it's all chewed up. I'm on private land today. I never really find as much as I think I should in this spot. There's always a ton of sign here, and I have seen boot tracks here in the past before I've gotten here. So I think this is kind of being walked by someone else. So that's why I'm in here a little bit early. I know some of the bucks are still holding, but this looks like a fresh shed, but it's all chewed to heck. Just coming through all this really thick, there's like a mix of tamarack, a lot of buckthorn, and it's just in a super random spot. I mean, there's like, I guess those could be older melted off deer beds right there. But, you know, I was just coming through on this side of the tree here, on a deer trail kind of. I just happened to glance over and something caught my eye. I almost kept walking. Then I like walked over here and sure enough, it's a pretty good shed. Oh my God, that's gotta be fresh, but they just destroyed that thing. I haven't even seen any squirrels in here. I mean, this is like a swamp bedding area. There's a hardwoods about 100 yards up that way. But dang, why did they have to destroy it like that? That thing is really eaten up. I'm gonna get some pictures and I'll pick it up. All right, here we go. Oh man. Nope, it's old, but a beauty. I can't believe I didn't find that last year. See, it's got a whole bunch of green on the base here. It's got pretty good color yet. Like, the color was throwing me off. I really thought that was fresh, but it makes sense. I mean, this is like in a pretty shady spot right here, so it doesn't really get bleached out. Man, that's a beautiful buck. That's my biggest of the year now. But it would have been a lot bigger. Oh, look at that. This broke off, but that doesn't really matter. You know, it would have been like that tall. I'm only about maybe a mile away from my grandparents' farm where I plant all the food plots and stuff. And there was 3 big bucks coming from this direction. And I got permission on a few properties over here, not everything. And I think I know what deer this is. He's just as big this year, if not bigger. And one of the sides on his G2, he had a split coming off. I'm just guessing that that's this deer. I didn't get any pictures of him last year. And I had pictures of 2 other, like I said, I had 3 big ones coming from this direction. And this is one of them from last year. And I think I know which one it is, the one with the splits. But dang, I should have really found that last year. I'm sure I walked right through this same spot where this fallen down tree is. This is a pretty familiar area I've walked through a lot in the past. And it was just sitting over here by this fallen down thing, like in just a super random spot. So that's why, I mean, you obviously want to follow deer trails and follow the best sign in the woods, but a lot of times that's not the case where you find the sheds. It's just so random. Sometimes you find them in areas like this, you'd never really even look. I just got lucky to happen to glance over here and take a look in this direction, and sure enough, just a beauty shed. Too bad it's old and all chewed up. Well, hopefully I can find one of his sides from this year. Well, day's almost over, but I just got lucky and came up on a fresh one here. I was just walking around, mainly all the daylight bedding, because I wanted to get down there and check out all that. And then there's all these, there's actually 2 deer way out in that field out there. But when I came down over this hill here, I didn't even notice this little tiny section of standing corn right here. Maybe like 40 yards by 20 yards. I mean, there's a whole bunch of deer out there. I probably jumped them all out, way out there. But there's this little tiny section of standing corn right here. I didn't even notice this. I was just on my way out, going up and over the hill, and I came right down this deer trail right here. And look at that. Oh man, what a beautiful sight. I hope I can find some sheds in my food plots, but normally you don't find sheds this close to food. But it looks like they've been pawing around in this corn quite a bit once they probably finished off this standing stuff. But let's go pick this up. My God. Finally something fresh after all this walking. Let's get some pictures and I'll pick it up. All right, here we go. Pretty fresh. Wow, that's just a heavy little buck. The way it sits in your hand, it's weird because it's got like, it just turns like right away at the base like that kind of. But yeah, nice little buck, probably a 2 or 3 year old. I don't have pictures of that one. Like I said, my grandparents' farm where we got all the food plots, that's not even a mile away, honestly. It's just weird how he like turns as soon as it gets off the base there. But I'll have to look through some pictures, but I don't really think that I have pictures of this one. I could, but I'm not sure. I'll have to look back. But man, what an awesome way to finish the day. Right at the end again. Just a little bit of corn. There's like 6 deer up there. There's like 3 deer way up there. Awesome. Here's a good size comparison of the two. A fresh one I just picked up and the old big one. This big buck, he's still alive, I'm pretty sure. And his fresh one should be out here somewhere or on the neighbors, which I can't walk. But just a good comparison.
I just found a shed. I've been walking for several hours now in some pretty thick areas. And I was just starting to head back. And I stumbled across this shed. Right on the edge of the cattail marsh. There we go. Nice.
Super nice today. It's like 50 degrees out. The wind's blowing like crazy though. Every year, the deer are bedding on this hill here. Probably at night, because see how open this woods is? All the daytime bedding is down in the swamp. This is all really melted off, more melted off than the swamp is down there. And sure enough, there's a little shed right there. I think I know which buck this is too. Oh yeah, I definitely know which buck that is. Let me get some pictures here. Here, I'll just pick it up. Look at that little guy. That is probably one of the best, or the best 1.5-year-old I had pictures of this year. Probably the second best. There was another one that had a whole bunch of goofy stuff going on, but I'm pretty sure he dropped relatively early, even though there's a little bit of blood on there. You can see this shed looks a little stained from the sun. Probably sitting here for a while. But it's got those funny little chew marks. If I can get it to focus. Yeah, whatever. But yeah, this is that buck with the huge brow tine. The other side isn't quite as big. He's got that little sticker off the base and a split G2 as his first rack. The other side's a little bit more normal, I believe. It's just a normal 4 side with a little shorter brow tine, not the split. I don't think he has this on the other side either. Wow, that's gonna be an awesome buck someday. I don't plan on walking too much of the bedding, the really good bedding yet. I'm just gonna stay on the edges and probably hit that in a week or so. Awesome. shed hunting. I've never found one up here in the hayfield. I just figured I'd come up here because everything's melted off. Well, it looks like that's a pretty nice one. Oh, I think I know which buck this is too. Get some pictures of this one. This is that 9-pointer with busted off G2s. I'm pretty sure he dropped quite a long time ago too. Oh, I didn't notice that. He's got a little bit of blading going on his brow tine there. That's a pretty common trait around here. Still got some little bit of bark on there from rubbing. He dropped back in January too, just like the other buck, I'm pretty sure. Back in late January, I had pictures of so many different bucks, and then going into early February, a lot of the bucks, you know, like half of them that were coming from one of the directions, kind of just stayed out of our area. So there must have been more food somewhere else or something, and a lot of them dropped. About half the bucks dropped in late January, early February. And yeah, that's an awesome shed right there. I believe that's a 3-year-old buck. I think I had pictures of him last year, and I believe he busted off his G2s last year too. So he'll be a 4-year-old this year, probably just a little bit bigger. Awesome. I was not expecting to find that up here in this hayfield. I mean, how often do you actually find something in a hayfield? It's so easy to see them out here, especially when their land's like that. But man, that's cool. All right, I know this buck too. I just found another one right next to the food plot. Food plot's right over there. Boom. Probably just bedding here right in the middle of the nighttime bed. This is all south facing this edge right here. There's always a ton of beds right up there by those tree tubes. And in my switchgrass over there, there's tons of bedding over there. Last year I found a shed in this actual food plot right up there somewhere. But lots of pictures of this buck. I've seen him at least once while hunting, maybe twice. And the whole year I was debating whether is this buck a really, really big 1.5 or just a crappy small 2.5. And now that I've seen his shed in person, he's definitely a 2.5, because it's just, I mean, if this is a 1.5, that'd be just a giant, pretty good sized base. So probably just a small 2.5. He's probably like a spike or a really small fork the first year. Awesome. 3 sheds and just a little short walk. I was just up here earlier today looking at this grass right here. There's always tons of beds in this grass and in that switchgrass right over there. Still got quite a bit of beans in there. This side's all gone, but up over there by the switchgrass is pretty full of pods. So we did plant a little too much food this year for the deer, but it kind of sucks. But anyways, I'll have to mow up some beans probably this spring, because I don't think the deer are going to finish off all of that. Anyways, sweet.